So underneath them, not too bad these. Strong southerly at the moment, which is good. So basically those four there can come down in one hit, but then one will have to stay for now. And then you get to this one, which I'd love to actually knock down with the other four. But if you follow up that right trunk there, then you'll see that it actually is interlaced up there, which will cause a bit of an issue, I think. So I'll try and fill that one out by itself and up the cover. So yeah, a bit of overhang, but really not too bad. So then you've got a bifurcated trunk like that, which actually isn't real bad because they normally grow out to the right or left as you'd expect. So the one on the right go that way, one on the left will go back. I'll probably have to fill the right side out of this one first. So I'll drop this one out that way. That'll be easy with the lean on it. Then I'll basically drop this side back through there, and that'll be easy. This one here, there's a fair bit of clearance between this big tree here, which is actually a pretty solid old bugger. That bit there can go out through there, which won't be an issue. That'll be easy. This one here is going to cause, if this southerly keeps up, it won't be too bad, but she's a pretty solid tree, this thing. It's probably getting up around 40 inch, 42 inch, but it's the width of these branches up there that's more of an issue. But if we keep with a strong southerly, it's actually, despite how fat the canopy looks, it's actually a pretty well balanced tree. There's basically as much weight out on that side as there is on the left side. And then you get a silly little thing like this growing in here. I'm not even going to touch that, I'll just flatten it with the other trees. This one here is leaning back to the left, so once the other ones are out of the way here, I'll drop that one back that way. This one's pretty symmetrical. That can basically go where it needs to. I've got another bifurcated trunk here. This won't be a big issue. Once again, the left side will go to the left, right side will go to the right, no worries. You won't be able to fill it in one hit because that trunk will split nearly down to ground level if you try getting too smart with it. And normally you'll have your scarf on one side and your saw on the other, so you're going to end up getting stuck or squashed or something. This one here is leaning out to the right, which isn't an issue. This one here is also leaning to the right, which with a southerly is good. Now this one here is a bit of a funny one because it's actually it's a pretty well balanced tree, but earlier on I left it because the wind was stuffing around a bit. It was swirling, but now the wind seems to have settled into a southerly, so I'll run along. There's a reasonable setup for you, Andrew. There's an ugly one. That is an ugly one. That's pretty well, yeah, level. Not what I like to see. That one's a nice looking stump. That one's a good looking stump. There's good old Dolma. Topsoil that one. This one was a pretty fat one. I did come in a little bit low on that too, but that was a pretty well weighted tree heading that way, so in all honesty it's although you'd like to see a better looking stump than that, it's actually not a major deal, to be honest. If it was a single tree sitting in a forest that you had to be very, very accurate in directional fell, you'd be a bit disappointed, but I don't like leaving stumps looking like that, but in reality it's not that big a deal. Didn't even need wedging. So there you have it. The wind helps a lot.